Hey, Ron here from Military Images Magazine with a new episode of Life on the Civil War Research Trail. Today, I was researching photographs of Harry Gilmor. He is a Baltimore County, Maryland native who cast his lot with the Confederacy after the war began. He became very well known as a raider early in the war. He was also a prolific photograph taker, sat for numerous images during the war. He was captured and wrote his memoirs from prison. They were published in 1866 under the title 4 Years in the Saddle. It's a great account of his wartime experiences. And because it's written during the war itself, his perspectives are fresh and they're not informed by the context that years can bring. So while I was going through his memoirs, getting a sense of who he was, I happened upon a passage about John Pelham. He is one of the better known artillerists with Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia. And I dare say his face is very familiar. It really is one of the enduring Civil War portraits. And we know it today. It appears oftentimes. So Pelham was actually born in Alabama. He attended West Point, made that difficult decision to leave following his home state into the Southern Confederacy. He quickly earned praise for his skills as an artillerist and tragically died at age 24 following the Battle of Kelly's Ford on March 17, 1863. In fact, it was a mortal wound he received, never regained consciousness. As it turns out, Harry Gilmor was very close by Pelham at the moment that he was struck. And he wrote a passage about it. It's one I haven't seen before, and I want to read it to you so you can get a sense of the immediacy and get a sense of the moment of Pelham's wounding. So here we go. Quote, Pelham and I were standing together on the right of the 2nd Virginia, which was in line and just then sustaining a severe fire of shell from a light battery posted near. No one was hurt, but the men got uneasy and begged to be allowed either to go ahead or to take a more sheltered position. At this moment, Fitz Lee rode along the line and said, "Keep cool, boys. These little things make a deal of fuss, but they don't hurt anyone." Of course, the whole regiment gave him 3 cheers and then moved by the left flank to take a new position. I turned in my saddle to cheer the men as they filed off. The shells continued to explode all around us, but principally in our front, and so familiar had they become that I ceased to regard them or watch the damage each had done when, just as the west files of the 2nd wheeled into column, I was deafened by the explosion of one very near. Even then, I did not look back till I heard Bailey exclaim, "My God, they've killed poor Pelham." I had not heard the well-known thug of a bullet or piece of shell, which you never fail to hear when a man is struck as near as Pelham was to me. Turning quickly in my saddle, I saw Pelham's horse without his rider moving slowly off, and Pelham himself lying on his back upon the ground, his eyes wide open and looking very natural, but fatally hurt. Just then, a line of cavalry appeared directly in our front with their skirmish lines uncomfortably near. Bailey and I determined they should not get Pelham's body, and with the assistance of Lieutenant Minigerode of Fitz Lee's staff, we got him in front of me on my horse. He had been struck in the back of the head and was bleeding profusely. Having carried him a short distance, I laid him on his own horse and put him in charge of 2 dismounted men with orders to take him to the nearest ambulance and call a surgeon. I galloped off to Stuart. Seeing the blood on my clothes, he thought I was struck. I told him it was not my own blood, but the blood of poor Pelham, killed a few moments before, whose body I had brought off the field. I shall never forget the look of distress and horror. So there you have it, a passage from Harry Gilmor's book, 4 Years in the Saddle, where he shares his eyewitness account of the mortal wounding of the gallant Major John Pelham. Until the next time, we'll see you on the trail.